Crusader Kings III has one of the biggest modding communities out there, and the second place mod takes us straight into the fictional world of Game of Thrones. Now, Game of Thrones is one of the most watched TV shows ever made, and this mod is so popular that some people literally buy CK3 just to play this mod. And today we are taking on the role of Viserys Targaryen, the Beggar King. Viserys has no dragons, no gold, no allies, and no hoes. To be fair, he does start off as an 8-year-old, so it is understandable. Now, Viserys does start off with a dream, a crown, and a very questionable family tree. So let's see if we can restore this delusional prince to his rightful place, the Iron Throne. Now, immediately as we start off, we are put on a mission. As you see, Viserys' father used to rule this massive continent over here called the Iron Throne. Well, the continent is called Westeros. The title is called the Iron Throne. And this man, King Robert Baratheon, actually killed our brother and usurped the title from our father. Now, this was our father, King Aerys II of the House Targaryen, and we'll just ignore that nickname. He was a good guy to us, you know. We are an 8-year-old, we have some fond memories of our father, and now we find ourselves in exile because of King Robert Baratheon. You might not believe this, but it can actually be a struggle to start off homeless. We have no castles, no lands. We only have claims on the kingdom that our father used to rule, and we also have a sister. So young Viserys is not just taking care of himself, but also his sister. They are both orphans. Aerys was killed by Jaime Lannister, and our mother died in childbirth. So to summarize, we start off as an 8-year-old homeless orphan. And we definitely have a long way to go until we can reclaim our rightful throne. And I guess step number 1 as a Targaryen is to actually betroth ourselves to our sister, our player heir, the Princess Daenerys Stormborn. She's a beautiful and quick girl, and she will be our wife in this playthrough. So I have started by completing a few contracts, and we are currently ill. I'm sure we will recover, and now we have a chance to either become compassionate or callous. Now let's be honest, I don't think compassionate is a Targaryen trait. I think callous, more of a Daemon Targaryen, is what we're going for today. So let's pick callous. I think that is far more fitting for Viserys anyway. We are now working our way down to Pentos and see what kind of contracts we are going to pick up there. And I'm also trying to visit as many places as possible to gain some learning experience. And yeah, we also need a bunch of fame because we actually can ask people for legitimate support, but it does cost 300 prestige. So we definitely have to pick up as much prestige as possible. And things are actually going well. Our contracts are successful. We're getting prestige and gold. I'm now upgrading one of the pavilions in our camp. And then we will also start building camp buildings that improve our men-at-arms. Wait, what? I have just been given Blackfyre. I did not know they added this. I have just been given the Sword of Kings. The sword that was lost in the Blackfyre Rebellions. It gives +9 prowess, and you know what? I haven't even started begging it. And Illyrio gives us the Blackfyre sword. I definitely do not mind having the sword of Aegon the Conqueror. And the only thing we need now is the dragons, and we will be getting them later on. It seems the dragon is living the dream. He is visiting the perfumed gardens at the age of 13. So he's definitely gonna see some shit over there. Just lease in regular. And I mean, look at these beautiful city graphics. This has changed a lot since I've last played. I've never actually taken a closer look. But look at those. I wish base CK3 would have as beautiful graphics as this. And you have to say the mod developers are absolutely amazing. They have done this all by themselves, and you know what? I would say this mod is by far better than the base CK3 game. Now at this moment we are only 14, but I would say we have enough prestige to start asking for legitimate support, and it will cost 300 prestige each time, but I can negotiate up to 1800 gold and 3000 elite troops, and I do believe when we reach about 15,000 we should start getting special events, and yeah, you'll just have to see what those special events are. So this is how requesting for support works. I press this button right here, and then I will start negotiating with the ruler of Lys. Oh, and please do not bore us too much while you inevitably ask for more. There is a limit to our leniency. Let's see how much they are actually willing to give. The most important thing, Your Grace, is, let's see, I can convince glory is worth more than gold. So I can ask for more support without being in debt to them. So glory is worth more than gold. Let's hit that a few times. There is a certain chance always that you get, yeah, as you can see, 56% chance. I cannot plead my realm dry, and you lose a term of negotiation. Let's try that again, and I lost. Let's see. I got 750 gold and 1350 elite troops. Now that is actually not that good, but it is definitely a good start. Let's go down to this vassal down here in the Mangrove Hills and see what we can negotiate with them. There you go. We now have a lot of gold, and we also are starting to have an army. And yeah, we'll first get as many special soldiers as possible, and then we'll see about creating our own army, maybe something that focuses on sieging. But yeah, we have a few years time before we reach 16. It seems 2 years have already passed. We are now 16. We have become a dutiful captain and also a formidable fighter and an errand runner. And now that we are 16, we can actually go ahead and equip Blackfyre and go down the martial lifestyle. It seems we already have 2 perks. Interesting. We now have almost 7,000 men, and I can definitely say we have no trouble with gold. We have 4,000 gold. I will choose a patron for us. I think the warrior is good for us, and then we will continue requesting legitimization. I guess I will just try and get as many special soldiers as possible, and once we truly run out of prestige, I will start hiring men-at-arms and see if it is actually enough to trigger the special event. So unfortunately, I ended up dying as Viserys, and then I played as Daenerys for a while, and when I had the event to bring back the dragons, Daenerys died along with the dragon eggs. So here we are in a new game. We are 15. We have just reached 20,000 men, and we don't even have men-at-arms yet. These are all special soldiers. And we have also 12,500 gold, which is a ridiculous amount. So you could say this game has definitely gone a little bit better, but I have not received Blackfyre, which means Illyrio might be dead, which also means I might not get the Dragon Egg. So hopefully I do not have to restart. Think he should be like a courtier or a city holder down here, but yeah, I can't seem to find him. Oh, no, I'm wrong. I've actually found him. So, weirdly enough, he hasn't given me Blackfyre. Maybe that means the other Blackfyre child, I believe Aegon the Griffin. Maybe he is alive and he holds Blackfyre. So, yeah, let's hope Illyrio gives us those dragon eggs because we have reached 20,000 men. It does seem I have gone a little overkill with the request legitimate support. As you can see, I have maxed out all of my men-at-arms. And yeah, I still have 6,000 gold. And yeah, if you didn't know, as an adventurer, you can actually get free men-at-arms by visiting a castle and pressing this mayhaps those scruffy Pentoshi soldiers could be of use. Then you can either use your level of fame or your level of piety to recruit these. We have 20,500 men, and once we do press this button right here, as you can see, we now have 24,000 men. It filled up 60% of our men-at-arms, and we can actually press that again later on if we wait like 3 months, I believe. That is a free way to fill up your men-at-arms. And we have just become a man, or at least 16 years of age, and look at that, we have 16 martial, we've gotten skilled tactician, guild patron, formidable fighter, reckless, and does that, okay, 15 martial. I expected a little bit more, I'm not gonna lie, but we do have 33 prowess, but judging from last game, that doesn't matter too much. We had like 30 prowess and we were fighting a guy who had 10 prowess, and yeah, we ended up dying. So hopefully this Viserys does a little bit better in this universe. Okay, finally, I was getting a bit worried, but there we go. We have been begging so much that Illyrio has finally decided to give us some dragon eggs to finally shut up. So we gain a barrel dragon egg, an obsidian dragon egg, and also a cream dragon egg. Yeah, now we have the choice to, I guess, bring back the dragon's unquestionable power, and I must try to bring back the dragons. Because Aegon the Conqueror had 3 dragons, and let's be honest, Viserys only has a lack of determination and maybe mild insanity. So hopefully he can bring back the dragons and yes, similar to Aegon, conquer the 7 kingdoms with 3 dragons. Now I have learned from my mistakes. I am going to save this game. Yeah, we're no longer on Iron Man mode because there isn't any achievements anyway. And I do not want to die as Viserys or Daenerys. So let's try to bring back the dragons. Okay, so I have been testing this and I have 4 options here. I can either give my blood or the blood of my sister, or I can sacrifice a guest. And none of these works. The only option that does work is if I sacrifice my sister. And yeah, it's not great. I'd prefer not to sacrifice her. But what is her life against the whole kingdom that belongs to us? These 7 kingdoms, they all belong to us, and what is the life of one princess against that whole kingdom? So let's sacrifice our sister, and there you go. This changes everything, and we already have our first dragons, Lannion, Firecatcher, and Givives. Now I'm gonna change those names, but yeah, we now have 3 dragons, and we're gonna use them to conquer the 7 kingdoms. Wait, what? I just sacrificed my sister and she has walked out of the fire. Just like in the show. Interesting. Now, which one do I want to bond to? Probably, I'd actually pick the 3rd one, but you know what, will take Lannion. Does this mean our sister is alive? She is alive and she is bonded to Firecatcher. Now I'm gonna rename these dragons and then we'll conquer the 7 kingdoms. The dragons have awoken. Our dragons are now 2 years old and about 40 when it comes to dragon size. And I can now declare war on the Iron Throne, on the man who killed our brother at the Trident. So Westeros, the dragon has awakened, and I gain Invader and 5,500 men in my camp. So there we go. And I think I will start off by going down to Dragonstone and sieging our rightful ancestral throne, I guess, or ancestral island. So let's attack Dragonstone and then we'll move on to King's Landing. I have also gotten this event which changes our traits. So instead of being arrogant and impatient, oh, interesting. I've also lost brave and stubborn. So now I am arrogant, impatient, wrathful, and ambitious. Now I would have wanted to keep brave, but it seems I haven't. And I get a bunch of stress. That isn't too good, but we are about to siege down Dragonstone. And this, yeah, I hope they do attack us down here. Now, chances are maybe not. We see the Starks over here with the Tullys. 70,000 men sieging one castle. That is crazy. And where is Robert Baratheon? Let's take a look. It seems he is in King's Landing, but where are his armies? Okay, down here. You know what? It might be wise to actually move on to the Red Keep to siege down King's Landing. So let's do that. We are about to finish the siege of the Red Keep, and then we will siege down the rest of King's Landing. And we have a big army up in the north and also 62,000 men down here. So maybe we can attack them while they are divided. Now, what is this? I can become a drunkard? No, 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 no. Or I can lay with somebody. I think I'd rather take the stress. I'm trying to be a good man today as Viserys. So yeah, who have we taken? We have taken Alaric Baratheon. It seems they've actually gotten an heir who isn't a bastard. Very interesting. Joffrey is not the eldest son. It seems Alaric has survived. I think in canon he did die as an infant. So very interesting. Now we'll siege down the rest of King's Landing and maybe attempt to catch them in a battle. And it seems they have gone to siege down Dragonstone. Now, that might not be a bad way to actually attack them over here. And it will take them 3 years to siege it down. So that is very good news for us. Okay, so I didn't immediately notice, but there are over 150,000 soldiers down here sieging down the Red Keep. And hopefully I can attack them. That is a really big battle. Where are my allies going? Where are you going? Why are you entering the sea? Get your ass over here. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so we are going in for the battle. And we should be able to win this, especially if our allies join. Our men are absolute elite quality, the best there is, and we also have a dragon. And yeah, as you can see, the advantage is quite high for us. And I'm pretty sure it should be higher. It is saying here, okay. And yeah, it seems the dragon has kicked in plus 65 advantage, and with such high quality men, they are not standing a chance. Look at that. And that has ended the war. We could end it. We could take the Iron Throne. But I really want to attack Robert Baratheon. He is over here sieging. So you know what? Let's do it. Let's take our men. Let's take the risk. Let's take our men. Send them to this island. Okay, so I have been given a chance. Look at this. They have about 120,000 soldiers here. And they are gonna attack us. We are recently disembarked, which isn't great, but we are defending in hills, and we should also have this crossing in our advantage. So let's see how this battle goes, if these pop-ups wouldn't happen at the same time. And we have higher quality, and it seems Robert Baratheon is leading the army. So let's see if we can win against them. Okay, we have gotten minor dragon combat actions, so that is pretty great. And it seems we have killed Glendon White Tower. Interesting. And this means we should have quite the advantage here, and our men are absolutely overpowered. And of course we have a dragon, 87 advantage, and their army is about to disappear. Look at that. Did I catch the Baratheon king? Please say yes. No, I did not. But I do have his son. So you know what? Let's end this war. And let's proclaim Viserys Targaryen the rightful king of the Seven Kingdoms. So let's enforce demands. And we can hold a coronation. The Dragon Ascendant. Now, for some reason, I'm not called the Father of Dragons. Daenerys is called the Mother of Dragons. Very cool. And I can be known as the Restorer. Interesting. You know what? Daenerys can be the Mother of Dragons, and I can be the Restorer of the Targaryen house. So let's be known as the Restorer. And we can also execute Robert Baratheon here, I believe. Yes, the Usurper's punishment. I will judge him later, or he must be executed. And I think Viserys would only do one thing with Robert Baratheon. First, he would torture him. And secondly, he would execute him. So let's execute Robert Baratheon. There we go. Robert Baratheon, the usurper, was executed on your orders. Now I think this is one of the best additions to this mod. We can punish our vassals that they come kneel down here to our throne, and then we can say, oh, I can let Lord Tyrion decide his vassal's punishment, or I can take his titles or artifacts. For example, yeah, he doesn't have many good artifacts. Or I can banish him, I can send him to the wall, or I can expel his whole entire family, or of course the simple one, I can execute him. Now I think I will let Tyrion decide his vassal's punishment, and I will only punish those that are straight under me. For example, Eddard Stark. Now I think you cannot rob the north of the Stark, so you know what, I will banish Eddard Stark to the wall, and I will let Robb Stark rule in his stead, and you know what, I might offer some guardianship to him, so the loyal Eddard Stark will join the wall for, I guess, aiding the usurper, and yeah, let's my will be done, and he should be sent to the wall. Let's actually watch as he goes. Yeah, Lord Eddard Stark is now a Black Brother, a recruit of the Night's Watch. Okay, so we now are the King of the Iron Throne, King Viserys the Restorer, and look at this. Now, I gave off some of these paramountcies to other people. For example, I gave the Riverlands to the loyal Willem Darry. I gave the Vale to Peter Baelish. I gave the North to Robb Stark. I gave the Iron Islands to Euron Greyjoy. And I also gave these Stormlands to the Selmies, which is a bit questionable, but I literally could not find anybody else. And yeah, there would have been the Tars, who are somewhat kinsmen to us, but they don't know it. I mean, Aemon Tarth was a bastard of Daela and the Tall Hedge Knight. And yeah, we are now gonna hold a coronation. And I mean, look at this. King's Landing, very beautiful. I mean, Lee's is better, I would say. But yeah, a lot of flavor has been put into the map here. So I was thinking this is a very uneventful coronation, but it seems I can duel Mace Tyrell. And you know what? He doesn't like me very much, so let's do it. And yeah, he has 1 prowess and I have 36. So this shouldn't really be too hard for us. Famous last words. Let's hope he doesn't kill me here. And yeah, goodbye, Lord Paramount Mace. Oh, the Hand of the King, Tyrion Lannister, is telling me that Paramount Mace died. Yes, I'm aware, Tyrion. I am the man who killed him. But thank you for letting me know. Now, why does he hate me this much? Okay, so I am holding court and I'm now dueling this man for some claim. I think the people of Westeros are starting to be worried. This is the second battle and we haven't even ruled that long. So let's see if we can win against this guy. At least this isn't a battle to the death. So yeah, I do defeat him. So yeah, the dragon, do not anger the dragon, otherwise he's gonna beat you. And he's gonna beat you hard. And I think Daenerys has learned that the hard way. At least in canon. So it seems I had the pox and I have now gained disfigured. Very interesting. We have only been on the throne for like a year and I'm disfigured. Yeah, I don't think Viserys would be too happy with this. Well, to be fair, nobody really would, but is that a trait we can lose? Probably not. That is a very ugly, I guess, mask of bandages. So hopefully, can we maybe equip the same thing the first Viserys had? Oh, we have actually gotten an event where we can choose if we want to have a mask or if we want the whole world to know. So, you know what? Let's remove the mask. Oh my god. Look at that. Wow. That is definitely something. And that is what a pox did. Or I guess our maester did. So you know what? I think the Maester deserves a little penalty. He is terrible, my god. Can we imprison him? Yes, we can. What? Okay, I thought this was him not accepting, but it seems Aegon the Conqueror has come again. Or I guess Aegon the Blackfyre. I don't think he will be victorious against us. He has 80,000 men. I can probably beat him with only my special men-at-arms. Now, where did my maester go? Let me feed him to my dragon, Oswin. There he is. Let me... why can I not feed him to my dragon? Oh, I can execute. Okay. Feed to dragon, burn with dragon flame. You know what? I think Viserys would burn him with dragon flame. So yeah, let's execute him. And let's get a new maester into King's Landing. Oh, there he is. I have found him. And let me tell you a secret. I can raise my men in like 0.0 milliseconds. All I have to do is raise up all of these special soldiers. And then, yeah, they will just appear. As you can see, that stack is just growing and growing. And now I can attack them. And of course, we have a dragon. Aegon, the Blackfyre, he doesn't have a dragon. So let's attack him here. We should win quite easily. Yep, as you can see. And I've actually won the war. Because he no longer has any troops. So let's enforce demands. And what should we do with him? He is our kinsman. Now, what should I do with Aegon Blackfyre? He does still have his camp. Now, could I send him to the Night's Watch? I cannot. Can I recruit him? Nope. I mean, I only have one choice, right? To finally end the Blackfyre line. And you know what? This is a test for him. If he is a true member of the dynasty Targaryen, then he will not die by Dragonflame. So let's burn him with Dragonflame. We will gain 15 dread and let's execute him. And as you can see, he was not a true member of the Targaryen dynasty because otherwise he wouldn't have died. And yeah, I also did rename the dragons. This is Viserion. I thought Viserys would name his dragon after himself. Our sister's dragon is named Drogon, which kind of doesn't make sense in this universe, but sure. And the third dragon, if I can find him somewhere, Rhaegal. Yes, I named him after Rhaegar, the brother that died fighting Robert Baratheon. And now we rule the Iron Throne. So let's see what else this rule brings. And I have just noticed we have acquired Blackfyre. That is why we didn't get Blackfyre in this game, because Aegon had it. Aegon Blackfyre wielded the Blackfyre sword. A few years have passed and it seems the legitimist supporters have come to collect their debt, and I will have to pay 300 gold each time. So yeah, and I have 2 payments in this one. So I'm interested to see if I'm gonna lose all my money and even end up in some debt, or if I have enough money to pay these off. So let's see. It seems I only had to pay about 2000 gold. Most of the people who collected the debt died, I believe, to the pox that also disfigured me. So yeah, that helps us out pretty much, and we now have over 4000 gold that we can use. So not just did this legitimization campaign give us a whole damn continent to rule, it also gave us dragons and it gave us 4000 gold. So you can say I'm now the most powerful man in the world, and I accomplished it with debt, and it's debt I don't even have to repay. So I have now ruled the 7 kingdoms for almost 15 years, I believe. Yes, 15 years. And yeah, we have gotten 4 children, 3 sons and 1 daughter. And yeah, we might also have a bastard son, our own Daemon Waters or Adrian Waters. And we have 3 dragons. And this was a pretty fun game, pretty fun playthrough. I enjoyed it very much. And I don't think the Starks did. Oh, Rickon has also died. So after I put Eddard Stark onto the wall, Robb Stark ruled after him and he ended up dying. He was murdered, not sure by who. And then Brandon ruled and he was slain in battle. I'm not sure in what battle because there has been no giant war, so probably like a smaller wildling raid, or maybe there was a Liberty faction or something. And Rickon, he was a drunkard since like the age of 14, and it seems he also has been murdered. Roose Bolton might be murdering the Starks, but I'm not too sure. So now there is a 1-year-old ruling the north. So this has been a very successful game, and yeah, we still have our special soldiers and they are inherited on succession, so they will never die. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you want to see more, then leave a like and a comment what you want to see, and of course subscribe, and I'll definitely post more about Game of Thrones. This is my favorite mod, so yeah, just let me know and I will post it, and I will catch you guys in the next video.